There is no doubting the impact that small businesses have on our lives. And there's nothing that gets me more excited than sitting down face to face with a business owner and helping to empower them to bring their vision to life. Because at the end of the day, business is the art of creating opportunity. Leadership has always been an important thing in my life. I've always valued those that I looked up to and folks that would help pull me along and teach and educate me, whether it be from growing up early on in Boy Scouts and martial arts, or later on in my life with endurance coaches. The ability to help captivate somebody and get them to understand the goal and the mission of the organization is going to be key to the success of your organization. So I want to share with you guys 5 things that I always try to keep in mind when working with my team or other organizations, and see if you can implement some of these tips to make your leadership skills just a little bit tighter. So number 1, keep your word. I know it sounds simple, but far too often people just don't do it. I can remember coming up as a young sales guy and being promised commission rates and pay structures, and after I went out and sold as much as I possibly could, I'd always get shortchanged, and I never got my head around why they wouldn't just do what they said they were going to do. I could still be working there today for them, but instead you get shortchanged, you get disgruntled, and you end up leaving. And so to be a good leader, you need to back up your actions with what you say you're going to do. The second one may seem superficial, but it's important to me, and I found it important to the people that I followed in my life, and that is dress to influence. I'm not saying that you always have to wear a suit and tie, but always be aware of how you're presenting yourself. And maybe not just with your clothes, but with your posture, with your attitude, how you walk into a room. If you know those people are in there waiting on you, they're waiting on you to give direction, to give them the marching orders. Come in with confidence in what you expect them to do and how we're going to achieve the goals of the day. If you want your team to be super professional, you're going to have to bring that every day as well. If you're fine with them being casual and maybe your client relationships are more casual, then that's good too. But at the end of the day, you need to look and feel like you can lead that team and you know what it's going to take to get them there. Number 3 is treat your team the way that you would like them to treat your customers. This one's kind of interesting, right? I've always found that everybody wants superior customer service, and I can remember I worked for somebody one time who was adamant about having superior customer service, but then at the end of the day, he would sit down with all of us and we'd be talking, and he would just say the most vulgar, rude, disrespectful things about our clients. And you know what? That exuded down into his team and then down into how the team handled the customers. And so treat your team the way you would want them to treat your customers. That means you're treating them with respect. You're being prompt to their requests and things that they need from you. And make sure that you're cultivating really a culture around the same type of relationship that you would like to have with your customers. My phone's beeping. Thanks, Amber. Number 4, invest in your team. It's imperative that we foster an environment where people can grow and they can learn and they can feel like they're gaining advancement. And I'm not just talking about the workplace. Sure, there's plenty you can do within training your team on their specific job skill, but get to know them as a person. Get to know them as what are they into outside of work? What goals do they have? It's kind of a running thing in my office that if any of my employees ever want to leave, I ask that they come talk to me first, because I want to be the first person to be able to help them achieve that goal, whether it's starting their own business or going out into a different field or a different practice or even a different company. Heck, I know a lot of people. I can probably help them out. And you know what I found is that my commitment to them as an individual, not just for their role in the job that they play, has helped to foster people staying longer, to having more pride in their work, and really having respect for me as a leader and knowing that I'm there for them, not just asking them to get the job done. Number 5 is ask for input. And this kind of comes with a caveat too. It's not just asking for input, because I know, look, as a business owner and as a leader, it's easy to ask for input, ask for people's opinion, and then when they give it and you don't really like it, it's easy to kind of disregard it or tell them why they're wrong. And so it's ask for input, but don't respond. I think it's really important to go to the team you want to empower them to be a certain role or take charge in a certain part of the company. Ask them on a regular basis their opinion about that department. Ask them on a regular basis what would they do to help that. And when they give you the response, say thanks. I appreciate it. I'm going to take that into consideration. And what I found is that by doing that, all too often they come back and they say, Jason, you asked me that question and I answered, but I've got some additional thoughts. And it's that type of collaboration and that type of incentive. You're putting that mindset in them that they need to be thinking about that department, and you're not going to shoot down their ideas, that allows them to grow as a professional. So I hope these 5 tips helped you out. If you like this kind of stuff, hit the like button, hit subscribe, leave us a comment. If you don't like it, if you do like it, it's all good. I appreciate your support. We'll see you guys out.